What's good, y'all? It's your boy DJ Fanatic at soundsforproducers.com. Welcome to another video in this series of going over books that inspire me as a producer and hopefully inspires you as well. And this book, if you didn't see the other episodes, it's with Zaytoven, From A to Z. So this book is just, I really liked it. It's a quick read. There's a lot of very valuable information in it. So the last chapter was Believe, I believe, and the first chapter was Action. And my intention for these videos is just to give you game, like give you knowledge, give you inspiration to go beyond where you are right now. I know the producer life is not typical life. You know, you got regular stuff where you got to work, you know, go to a job and work for someone, and then you got school and got all these other things, but you still want to make music. You still want to pursue your dreams of whatever it is, working with major artists or having your music all over the place and just being in the studio all day, just making music. Of course, we all have those dreams. So hopefully this type of information can help you out. So if you haven't subscribed, please click that sub button and click the bell as well, so that way you're alerted to new videos on the channel. And thank you for our subscribers. Thank you for the viewers too, man. I see you guys watching, but you're not clicking that sub button. It's only easy to show support when you're inspired or you get something valuable. So anyway, and of course there'll be links in the description, so make sure you check those out for tons of different sounds and just a lot of work went into the sounds and just banging, man. So thank you to our customers. Anything you make with the sounds, definitely tag us in Instagram at Sounds for Producers, or just send it to us. You know, we always like to do reposts and retweets of your work with our sounds. So, and that's free. You know, definitely every producer can use exposure, trust me. So chapter 3 is about create. We all know about creating because it's in our mind, it's in our heart, it's in our spirit, it's in our essence. We're producers. We're basically sculptors, you know, or painters. We're just creating from what's inside us. And a lot of times we're inspired by what's around us, but what's inside you never changes. I mean, it changes, but it changes over time and depends on what kind of mood you're in. You're gonna make a certain beat, but what's inside you is unique to you. So creation, everyone look around you. This camera I'm talking to was created with an idea. YouTube was created with an idea. All the equipment you see behind me, even the vinyl records, that was created with an idea. Having a woofer in circular form was an idea. Yellow woofers, shout out to KRK. Hey, let's do an affiliate deal, by the way. You know, that was an idea. So there's creation all around you, so we can relate to that. So let me just read the first sentence or whatever, paragraph, whatever, so we can kind of just jump into the chapter, and I'm just going to pick out things that I thought were dope. He says, now that I found my protege, the next step was to create a star. Radrick Davis became known as Gucci Mane. It's common knowledge that I don't like a whole lot of extraness in my life, so it only made sense to apply that philosophy to our movement. We kept our plan simple. We outwork every artist that was hot in the streets or on the radio. The way we were grinding, averaging 18-hour days, Gucci might as well have lived at my house. He knocked on my door at 6 in the morning after we just stopped working at 3 a.m. to record more music. He was like a machine, we both were. We ate music for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, and they had a system. He says he'd usually write in the mornings or record whatever he wrote the night before. So, I mean, now this part did stand out to me, and I've been doing this for a long time, producing music, and I'm still doing these hours. I would do like 6 to 12 hour days just working on business and working on beats, learning different software, different plugins, and I kind of, knowing where I'm at now, mentally and knowledge-wise, you gotta like, grinding like that, doing those hours is very taxing on the mind and on the body. Now, it's good to be hungry and to put in the time, but you gotta have a balance, because when you start doing those type of hours, it's counterproductive. Of course, you're creating momentum to succeed, but now that I know when you're just doing so much action without having faith and like mental stability, you're working against yourself. And what I mean by that is, I don't want to lose you on this video because I get deep sometimes. But what I mean is, there's a difference between having faith and knowing that your music's gonna make it. You know, knowing that you're gonna get those plaques, knowing that that artist is gonna be on it. Like, that's faith, and you don't need to work that hard when you already know it's gonna happen. And faith actually is a practice. It builds over time. And you know, you can practice on like little things, like, okay, I'm gonna get that job, or I'm gonna get a raise, or I'm gonna make that basket when you're playing basketball. Just start with little things. And as you can see, you don't need to put forth that much effort. I used to do this. Actually, I still kind of do it. I think my longest days is 12 hours now. And this is on top of working, you know, for a job and having family and, you know, personal life. Having a balance is essential. So hopefully I explained that pretty well. Let's see. So, and he had a workflow. So the workflow is like, my workflow, I usually, every day at my lunch hour, I'll start a beat and then finish one at night. So that way I'm constantly refreshed when I revisit the beat. Like I'm like hearing it with fresh ears, fresh creativity. And also I'm out of that environment. I'm in a new environment, a comfortable environment, like this one behind me. So having a workflow is essential too. So that definitely stood out to me. And you know, I mentioned this in other videos, but having a beat release schedule, that's very important for all the producers that sell music online that watch these videos. Other than, you know, actually with any music, you want to have constant music, because the more you make, the better you get. The more you make, the larger your catalog, where you can sell your entire catalog to a major company, to TV, film, or you can put like 20 with this artist, and you know, basically that's your bloodline. And creating that much music is very important. So let me not get sidetracked here. So the next thing, let me check. It's a short chapter. Let's see. Just because you make one hit record doesn't mean you stop or slow down. It's actually the time when you need to mash the gas and go. In this industry, you're only as relevant as your last hit. So you have to learn to stay creating, like I mentioned. And in order to create, you must also act. They go hand in hand. What use is it to create a catalog full of music and then never put it out or do anything with it? And trust me, nobody really cares about you when you first start out. So don't get bummed about people not paying you any attention. You have to create it. And the best way to get folks to listen is to create a demand. So he said a lot there. Basically, when you get that hit record, I heard that saying so many times, you're only as good as your last hit. And you think about so many artists you don't hear from anymore. I hate to call them out, but I used to play the song like crazy. Trinidad James, Lloyd, and actually Lloyd's Uncensored was really good, if you watched that. But who else that was just killing it and you don't hear from anymore? I'm thinking more on the lyrical side. I mean, it was just so many artists. So it goes with artists and producers, because producers don't get as much shine as artists unless you know, like super pinnacle or whatever. But once you get that hit, you know, people start calling. They're just, you go like, how do you get my number? Or they'll look you up online, you get all these follows. Like, there's a lot of things that I've done in the producer community where I'm like, I forgot I did it, and then all of a sudden I see like 100 new followers just because they found out I did something. So, and you want to keep that momentum. Like, it goes in waves, because sometimes you can be doing all this stuff and no one's paying attention. So he did mention that not to get bummed with people not paying attention. And we're all at a different level. You know, obviously, look at this channel. Not many subscribers, a lot of views, but you haven't subscribed. But and a lot of times they're, you know, my DJ Fanatic beats. You know, I been going at it pretty strong for like 3 years, and nobody like listened to me for a good year and a half or whatever. You know, it's different for everybody, and don't get bummed out. Just know that it's gonna happen, and stay steady and consistent. So create a presence. So basically, when I got settled into my new life in Atlanta, I stayed in different clubs listening to the records the DJs were playing. What up, DJs? In order to soak up the vibe and take that energy back home and work. So I mentioned that about an environment. Environments, what do you say? Environments impact you in different ways. Like, you know, when you wake up and you're going somewhere you don't want to go, or you got to go to this thing because, you know, family's there and you don't want to go. Like, environments shape you in a way. Look at everyone, your social circle. Like, look at your friends and your family. Like, think about how they shape you. Imagine if you're around triple platinum producers every day. You know, that would shape you in a different way. So your environment, what's around you, this room, or the type of people can be considered an environment as well, impact you. So he did mention that just slightly and kind of indirectly there. So creating a presence is basically grinding. And don't think of grinding in a negative way, because I hate it when people, yeah, I'm grinding, man, I'm grinding. That means it comes from a lack, a state of lack. You have everything you need. You have power in you, but you have to tap into it. Grinding is like not having something, but you have it. So don't think that you're grinding to get something. You already got it. So, but you have to become aware and have faith and work with what you have, because it's already there. So I'm flipping grinding, because grinding can be seen as a negative thing, and I see it over and over and hear it over and over. I don't grind. I know that somebody is paying attention. I know I impact people. I know I get emails, I get DMs, I get all kinds of stuff that, yo, what you said was, you know what I'm saying? So I don't care about the amount of views or whatever. I know that I'm impactful and I'm giving great value for someone to change their life and someone to learn, you know? So anyway, I realize it can happen and has happened, but that shouldn't be your only form of marketing. Let's get back. While you have to create, you must also go to the people to be seen and heard. Come on, somebody. So, and I'm not talking about just handing out business cards and CDs at clubs. That's been done. Just because you may pass out a few cards and boxes of product, don't think your music is going to just fall in the hands of somebody that can help take you to the next level. I realize it can happen, and it has happened, but that shouldn't be your only form of marketing. It halfway worked back when I was coming up, but that's not considered real grinding today. Grinding is when you pave a road where there was just dirt. I don't care to hear people say things like, if I could just get a Zay beat, I'd be on. If I could get hooked up with the superstar manager, I'd really take off. If I had more money to book studio time, I'd be out of here. Those are all excuses, plain and simple. You can stand in front of a fire and demand heat. You got to put the wood in first before it would produce what you want. So, a lot said there, and I don't want to go over time. Basically, and that saying there, I heard that with Grant Cardone again, and the 10X rule. Basically, you're standing in front of a fire and you're expecting heat, but you're not adding the wood. You're expecting to run a marathon, but you haven't trained. You know, I hear excuses constantly with producers. Stop that. Because the more excuses you have, you're not going anywhere. You're not moving. You're sitting still. You're moving backwards when you're like, man, if I had Omnisphere, I could make some dope beats. Man, if I had FL Studio, if I had Ableton, if I had Logic, if I had some good drum sound, excuses. If I had more time, don't let me start with that one. Time, you have time to watch YouTube. You have time to work on your music. You have time to learn and better yourself. If I had more money, if you looked at the stupid things you buy, and I mean stupid, I mean how many pairs of shoes you have, but you still bought a new pair. Or you bought clothes for no reason, but you don't have no special occasion. You know, you don't have anywhere to go, no reason to get it, you know. Money, it's there, it's abundant, and you have it. You just have to look at your financial spending, look at your financial statements, look at the type of money that you bring in, and look at the type of money that you put out. Pay your bills, and even like some things that, you know, bill-wise that you don't need, you have. You know what I'm saying? So let me not get into that because I'm gonna get upset. So stop with the excuses. Let's see. In the same way, you must create your own opportunities. J. Cole moved to North Carolina to New York on the hopes of meeting Jay-Z, which he eventually did. He even learned how to make his own beats when nobody would give him any. He created a presence, not excuses. Excuses are easy and have no value. So stop with excuses. There's no value in excuses. It's the lack of value. I'm sad. I'm saddened to hear excuses from people because it makes me upset. And I'm like, yo, you don't know what I've been through. Like, I used to be a janitor. I used to clean toilets, mop floors. I was depressed, but I did that to pay for myself to go to school, to get a music engineering degree, an audio production degree, and I did that during breaks in my schedule in class. Like, I used to drive an hour, that didn't make sense, all the way, like, I was in Virginia Beach area, to come back up, to go to class, and then go to my other job, then go to class again. I know about grinding. I don't know anybody in my life that worked harder than me. So anyway, no excuses. It's sad because I haven't ran into anybody that worked harder than me my entire life. So, and that tells me something because you want to raise the people that push you, you know, mentally, knowledge-wise, and spiritually as well. So these are good mentors to have, to read these books. And that's why I'm going over this. Create your blessings. Music and barbering have always been what I love to do naturally, whether I was earning money from it or not. There was a point in my career when I did both for free, but I looked at it like I was investing in myself. I have made the most money and enjoyed the fruits of my labor through the gift of using my hands. I've always focused on what I'm good at, but I've also constantly sought ways to build upon my blessings. So yeah, basically what you love is the key to progression. So let's see. The whole key to my success, besides the obvious, God, faith, and family, has always been my consistency to keep creating. Whether that's making beats, writing hooks, scoring films, or coming up with ideas to further promote something I'm involved in. Most people want the fame and the trappings of success without sacrificing anything. In this business or in anything you do, there's a price to pay to get what you want. Whatever is easy usually doesn't have a whole lot of value to it. Anything can have it. Anybody can have it. Yeah, so basically, what comes easy doesn't last. What comes hard lasts a lifetime. So that's kind of what he was getting at. And sacrifices. Come on, man. I'm going way over time in this video. I want to give you, open your mind up to these things. Sacrifices. I love what I do. I'm doing this video, but you know, I got family upstairs, like, missing me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm taking my time away from family. I'm making sacrifices. I do videos almost every day for 2 channels, and then I'm making beats, and then I'm doing stuff for Sounds for Producers, and then I'm doing stuff with other companies. I'm doing partnerships. Then I'm getting ready for this trip to LA. And then I'm making sure my ASCAP stuff is straight. Then I'm sending music to TV. I'm making sacrifices with my time and with my energy, and I'm learning so much. And then, you know, one time I couldn't make it to a, what do you call it? A mastermind meeting. Shout out to Busy Works Beats. I wanted to go to it, but I had a deadline. I had to sacrifice. You know, I couldn't go. So this business, definitely, there's always sacrifices, and you have choices to make. And it depends on how bad you want it. So that's why I wanted to tell my story, for people to know that Zay, they see today as Xavier Dotson, the one who rode the bus, worked unloading trucks, and used layaway plans to get to where he is. A writer, P.D. James, sums it up best by saying, God gives every bird his worm, but he does not throw it into the nest. There are blessings all around you, no matter where you are in life, but you must be willing to look for them. And by look, I mean create. I'm just saying, if you want to create more income, you need to create more money-making opportunities. I like to take an hour or two at the top of my week to brainstorm on ways to increase my earnings potential. Wow. It's good to revisit this. Brainstorming, I can't say that enough. It's always good to brainstorm because you're creating organization and also a destination on your goals, like where you want to go. Without brainstorming, you lose track because life happens, man. You're doing things and you forget. Oh man, I wanted to do that, and I struggle with that to this day. But you also mentioned something else I wanted to touch on. Oh yeah, unloading trucks and use layaway plans to get to where he is. See, I told you about the one job that I did, and I worked in a call center too, calling people, it was sales basically, and it was torture. I used to save lunch money and allowances for turntables that are right over here. Also a lot of equipment that you see behind me, all those records were sacrifices. I used to save up $100 so I could buy a bunch of them. Yeah, sacrifices, and like no one knows your story, you know, until, oh, he's big, man, he's dope. Like everyone's on you, but they don't know the sacrifices you made to get to that point. So now you know a little bit of it. If you do like to know a history video of me, if you want, or how Sounds for Producers came about, I'm happy to give that. But also let me know what type of videos what subjects I can do to help you. So yeah, that's pretty much it for chapter 3, creating. And I touched on a lot of things, and I went over time again, but I definitely my intent is to give you game, to give you knowledge, to give you inspiration, to take you from where you are right now. After you watch this video, think about some of these things I mentioned. You know, write down the things that struck you. You know, and revisit it, because this is powerful stuff. This is life-changing stuff, and that's what we want for you. Nothing but success and life-changing with your music, something that you love, and that's why you're hanging out the channel. So hit the sub button if you enjoyed the video or if you got anything out of it. And thank you for your support. Thank you for our subscribers, and click the bell as well so that way you're alerted for more videos in this series and more to come. So again, it's DJ Fanatic, soundsforproducers.com. Keep making dope stuff. I'm gonna stop right there. Keep making dope stuff. Make sure you brainstorm sometimes. Don't have excuses. They have no value. And reading books like this, and also positive books and things you can learn from, they add value to your life. So I'm gonna stop there. Man, I'm over time. So anyway, peace, y'all. I'll check you out next time.